Hello. It's Tanisha here, and I'm doing my conversations with Tanisha for Friday night. And I guess there's a little bit of technical difficulties happening right now, and my guest is having, gonna see if I can bring her in another way though. So we will see. So how you guys doing tonight? I am hanging in there. It's been a long week. In fact, I thought yesterday was Friday, and someone had to let me know that it was actually Thursday. So I was a little bit ahead here, but I am back on track. All right, so let's see what we can do. Um, See, this is why I'm doing these right now so that I can get a hang for the technology and what it can and cannot do. And trying to work these things out a little earlier so that it doesn't impact the broadcast so much. But let me see if I can find Miss Tequila because I really want to speak with her this evening because I really want you guys to hear her story as well. And let's see here. Okay. Mm-mm-mm. Let's do this. I'm going to take this away, bring another screen over here because I feel there's more than one way to get something done. So let's look. And I hear some noises. Something's happening. I don't know what's happening though. I hear some noises. Hang on. Uh, yes. What is it? Let's take a peek. All right. So what I'm trying to do now is see who I can see on the live with me. I'm going to see if Tequila is there so that I can actually bring her in. Let me see. Hey, Don, I see you're in the comments. Thank you for showing up. I do appreciate you so much. Thank you. Thank you. And let's see who else is here. Okay. So if push comes to shove, I might just have to reschedule Tequila and just continue with the conversation for tonight off the cuff. If anyone is out there that would like to join, I mean, it would be the same process. It's easy to bring you in. But I guess what I can do right now is actually just let you know why I'm doing conversations with Tanisha. Um, Number one, it's because I like speaking with other people. I like seeing people win. And I sometimes will have those moments where you see somebody doing something and you're like, "Oh my goodness, they're really doing it." And we always know that for social media, Facebook, Instagram, they're usually the highlight reels. We always see, what's happening that's going great. And sometimes there's a real story in those things that didn't go so great to get you to where you are, where it is great. And by having that conversation, we're able to just kind of go through some of the behind the scenes without being, too intrusive about it, but just learning some of those lessons that have transpired to help us get to where we are because we all have stories and we all have missteps. And I, for one, am not perfect. And I know that I've had plenty of missteps. And sometimes for some people like myself, I'm an introvert. I'm shy. So this is really outside my comfort zone. And so when we have those instances, we sometimes want to just back down and be like, oh my gosh, I'm a failure, I'm a failure. When in fact, you could be blessing someone from that story that you have. So that's why I'm doing this. One, to just know that there are people out there that I see doing things and I just want to know a little bit more, kind of the questions, how did you get into it? Why, how, who, those types of things, because sometimes we have that interest also and might need a little push and some encouragement. Number two, this freaks me out being live, doing this kind of stuff in this type of situation. Funny story is, if I were to get up on stage and do a presentation, prepared and all that, I can rock the heck out of that. But doing this live kind of stuff, just being on social media, period, my consistency sucks. My consistency sucks. And that's something that I want to get better at, which is why this here show has come on for I'm actually scheduled out for all of October, guys. I have next week's shows schedule and the last week of October shows scheduled. So I'm working on my November calendar. So if you get that text from me or that message from me saying, "Hey, would you like to come on?" This is why. This is why. Because I feel like a lot of us know each other, or we know someone who knows someone who knows, the whole 6 degrees of separation. We know people who we don't really know that we know, or we have access to people who we don't really know that we have access to. And this is kind of that bridge, sort of, kind of. It's low key. I'm no, I had mentioned to someone that, one of my um dreams was to have a show, and they asked on what network, and I was like, and they were like, oh, like Oprah, and I'm like, no, like Tanisha. I don't feel like I need to compare myself to anyone else to be successful in this space that I want to be in, because I know this isn't going to appeal to everyone, but it doesn't have to. And I'm trying to get out of that. You have to kind of appeal to the masses or everyone. You have to appeal to everyone type of situation, because we really don't. We really don't. So um, Dawn is here. And Dawn, she's in the comments, and I want to let you know about her because she's going to be an invite as well. She's the conflict chick. And um, when I'm able to secure her coming on with me, I would love for her to tell you about her and her journey as well. So there are a lot of things. So just because we weren't able to get the guest for tonight on doesn't mean we're going to stop. I have 30 minutes and I'm going to use it, because I think that's another thing. We feel as if things don't go the way that we feel they should have gone, that we have to cancel, delay, cancel out. And and no, we're just going to keep it moving. We're going to keep it moving. And this here show is scheduled on a Friday right now, but guess what, guys? It's my show. So if me and Miss Tequila can come on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, we'll show up on a Tuesday or Wednesday, and we'll have that time to iron out, the tech kinks that happened this evening that didn't allow the show to go as planned. So that's how we gonna run it. We just gonna keep it moving. So to tell you a little bit about me and what it is that I'm doing, because I feel like sometimes that's a little convoluted with, the way things are. I am still in real estate. I work for a bank as a mortgage loan originator. I still hold my real estate license, although I would prefer to just refer business off the real estate license and just strictly tend to mortgages. I do have something planned that I'm going to come out with that. um, Funny thing is, Dawn's in the comments, and she was my accountability partner for a project that I needed to do over on my mortgage site or mortgage page, which I need to, like I said, that consistency thing, get back to. And knowing that I can do this over here lets me know that I can do something over there as well. And that is what we will do. Some other things that I'm interested in is the dance community. Some people know that I like Chicago style stepping. I haven't been out dancing lately or anything, but I be watching y'all out there who be doing it and showing their videos. So that's something. And then also, I am trying to teach myself maybe how to draw or something of that nature. And that is my relaxation time. The whole trying to be creative, because I'm a creator. I'm a creative person. And I used to think that I could draw a long time ago, and maybe I could, but I stopped. Now, I come from a family who is very talented. Um, I don't know if my father drew as much. I think he kind of maybe did, but my uncles and my aunt, oh my gosh, they were so talented. And I feel like that gene kind of maybe passed over and didn't hit me right, but it hit me sort of kind of in a way. So I'm trying to teach myself to draw, and I think I'm doing okay. In fact, I know I'm doing okay. Let me stop. I try to be this talk myself out of good things about myself. And I have to get over that too. Um, it's time to just be confident in what you can do. And for those things that we can't, that we're trying to teach or learn ourselves, yeah, just be honest about it. So I'm pretty good at what I do in the manner that I do it. It is not, any fine art or anything of that nature, but for what I do, I'm pretty good. So be on the lookout for that. So that's in a nutshell the things that you'll probably see from me coming up on my page, because I don't share a lot. I do not. I want to, but I just, like I said, this freaks me out. And then we'll probably talk about a few other things too, because I know Um, there's some heavy topics out there. I'm not trying to be too heavy on here because I have a thing with depression. And so that's one of the reasons why I'm out here as well, because I do not want to be in my head all the time with that negative space. I want to be able to express some lighter topics and smile a little more, because life gets tough. It does. And we all go through it. We all have challenges. And I would like to just bring a little light to someone's day with a conversation or two here and there. There is someone who sends me a message almost daily, and it brightens my day. And I'll try to get them on for a conversation as well, because I'm curious. I haven't asked them yet, but I'm curious as to where they're getting their messages from. Are they canned messages, or are they specific for me? Because I feel that it makes my day, and we can make someone's day in in very small ways. Small ways. So one thing that I used to do on here, well, I've done a couple times with my boys. They're no longer here. I have one off to college, and my youngest is still here. But I used to make them do taste tests for stuff, interesting things. It's the holiday season, and during holiday seasons, we get a bunch of new items out. So who's done their holiday shopping? Because I was talking to someone and I'm thinking about putting a tree up. I haven't done a tree in maybe 3 years. So I'm thinking about being a little festive this year. So if there's anyone out there who is, uh-oh, see, hold on, hold on. All right, let me do this real quick. We've got a guest. We have got a guest. Let me add there. Muted. Assign your camera. Guess one. And okay. All right. And we are going to. Can you hear me, Tequila? Because I can't hear you yet. You there? Okay. Can't hear you. Can't hear you. Let's see. I can't hear you. Say something. Okay, hold on. Mhm. Okay. And there you go. Oops.
Okay.
There.
Yay!
Good deal. Good deal. All right, everybody. So, see what happens? A little patience. We've got Tequila Carter on, and Tequila, we're going to do this a little longer just because we can.
All
I'm
right.
happy that you're here. So, tell us a little bit about you because I've been talking for almost 30 minutes now.
Oh, sorry, guys. Had a little technical difficulty. My name is Tequila Carter. I am a mother of three. Um, I do real estate here in Indianapolis, Indiana. I also have my hands on logistics and just dabbing in a little bit in both markets. Really trying to figure out, as a mom entrepreneur, the lane to take and things like that. Volunteer at my kids' daycare, very involved in the community. Love helping giving back, toy drives, volunteering seniors. So just a little bit of background about myself.
And I want to say that the reason I really invited you, Tequila, the reason I wanted to have a conversation with you was because of what you're doing in the logistics field. I don't think we see a lot of women taking charge in that space. And I just think your story and how you got there and how you got to where you are right now, it was inspiring to me. I mean, it spoke to me. So tell us a little bit about how you did get started.
So I was a stay-at-home mom, and I needed to figure out what I could do to have financial freedom and also still be involved with my children. There. in a lot of sports and things like that. So I really wanted to have that freedom. So how I got started was basically on YouTube. I started Googling on YouTube about logistics and learning what I can do in the road without having my CDLs. My husband already had a CDL, so that wasn't a route I wanted to take because you're always away from your family. So I decided to get inside the freight brokering part and non CDL. So that way I was able to combine what I wanted to do on top of what my husband did. So I started my own freight broker, Early Bird Logistics LLC. And I began to get my own customers, building my clientele, onboarding owner operators, and really learning my lane with the logistics. So now I'm looking to go international
Mm,
and things like that. So getting my certifications to become international.
okay. And so how long does that take to go international?
Well, it really depends on what you're trying to do, where you're trying to go, what type of avenue you're taking. So with that international, it will be like ocean freight.
Mm. Oh,
My apologies, there's a baby in the background, guys.
you already told us you
I'm
are
an
a mom of
entrepreneur.
three, right? You already told us you're a mom of three, so
Yeah, so
babies are
bear with
welcome.
me. So yeah, that's how I really got started. Really doing my research. YouTube University was like one of my.
You're muted.
So that was one of my sources. Really just owning my avenue. Understanding the market, um, what I can bring to the industry, and the value I bring in getting those customers. So that's basically how I really got started in the logistics world.
So let me ask you this because you said YouTube University, and we all hear, that you can almost find anything on YouTube. And how long did it take you to from start to where you pretty much was in the game? How long did that take you using YouTube?
Well, using YouTube and also being a wife of a trucker, it
Mm,
was a lot easier for me.
yeah.
Um, how I used YouTube was what I wanted. Okay, I wanted to go freight brokering, and I also had an advisor. So I will tell people when you become an entrepreneur, be prepared to spend money, flat out on educating yourself, grants, anything above that. Setting up your LLC the correct way, knowing about your taxes. I mean, I really think it's important for minority people to understand the importance of actually building a company in logistics. So going back to YouTube, like I said, using YouTube and resources that I was already familiar with. So that was an easier avenue for me because my husband is already in logistics.
Mhm.
So just like learning from him, going on a road with him, using YouTube, I just all combined that together.
Okay. So one thing that you
This
mentioned,
is one of the
there
little ones that's
you go.
the
That's
ruckus.
right. We won't take too much of your mommy's time. See, all she had to do is bring you on. That's right. He's running the show.
Thank you.
So, what I heard you say was that it's important to set up business correctly because I think a lot of times we tend to get an idea, and I know I've done this before, and we just run with it and not set things up properly. I do like the fact that you mentioned that even the point of having an advisor, it's good to go outside of just saying, I'm using YouTube, I'm learning all this thing and spending the money to do it right.
Also, looking up resources. I don't think we use our resources fully. One moment, that's my alarm going off
Oh,
for the meeting. It was.
And while she's gone, see, and this is kind of what I'm talking about. Just, this is life, and these are the conversations that I want to have because we're we're not always going to have everything buttoned up, nicely done, and it doesn't always happen like that behind the scenes. So, I appreciate you, Tequila. I know you've got your family there, and I appreciate you for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me. Like I said, you want to be very resourceful, making sure you're making the right connections, going to networking events. Um, it's more foot on the ground. It's just not about getting the LLC um, and that just stops there. No, it's a lot of education behind being an entrepreneur in either whatever avenue you choose to go in, whether it's logistics, real estate, cooking, just really educating ourselves on the background, making sure we're aware of our opportunities, threats to the company, just things that people really don't touch base on when we're building these entrepreneur businesses.
Absolutely. So, how old are your children?
11, 5, and 2.
Do they help you in the business?
They do. So my kids are employees as well, and it goes from either helping with printer paper when they clean out the truck. So keeping my kids involved as well, teaching them about financial freedom at an early age, about entrepreneurship. So my 5-year old to tell you right now, he's not an employee; he's a boss. I mean, straight flat, just like that. And just installing that in them and training them already for that leadership role in entrepreneurship.
Yeah, that's a good deal. I like that. Um, I wish I'd have done more of that coming up younger when my kids were growing up. I didn't, but I wish I had. So that's a good point that I want to make sure that people, um, because as far as family is important. So, what do you guys like to do for fun?
We like to travel. We just came back from Florida this year. We went to Florida, Disney World, bowling, and movie nights. Really big on movie nights and bonding together as a family. Just little things like that. Not nothing really big because the focus is growing the business, but definitely family time is important. So on the weekends, we try to go bowling. Last weekend, we went to great times. Um, just making sure we are still enjoying our free time and family time.
Hmm. That's good. Good deal. So, one thing that I want to ask then, because it's a conversation, so it's not really just an interview type thing.
Yeah.
So, when you're trying to get business for the freight brokering, what avenues are you doing for that? I know um, a lot of people are using social media right now and TikTok, and are you on TikTok?
I am.
Are you good at TikTok?
I am, but I really don't use it for logistics. It's more of a personal reason. So
Hmm.
I try to separate my social accounts. I don't want every social account all about business. I would like for people to see the authentic me, that I'm a mother, I work on things, I have problems. It's not just this, fantasy world. So I try to keep my TikTok more personal so that, people can interact with me.
Okay, so that's good. So, um, I don't use TikTok, and I need a TikTok session. That's what I was angling toward. Because
Okay.
I just don't, and I think I need someone to sit down with me and actually just show me how they do something on TikTok
Right,
to
right,
make it make sense for me. Because I'm more of an analytical person. If you sit me down and tell me I need to code something or something like that, I can do that. But when it just comes to the social part of it,
right, right. I totally understand. I agree on that.
but you say you use it mainly for personal. So
Yeah,
where,
just showing off my kids,
yeah.
daily life, things like that. As far as how I find my customers, I do pay. for leads, a lot of leads, through Fiverr, people that had already did the cold calling and they're giving you warm leads. So I do use Fiverr. I pay for leads. Google a lot. Manufacturing companies, small shipping companies, and I just call those numbers. I do a lot of cold calling, mailing campaigns, direct mailing. LinkedIn is another one that I use for like professional
Mm-hmm.
sites. It'll be LinkedIn. Like I said, my Facebook, I got a business page and a personal page. And then I left my TikTok. I throw a little business in here and there, but it's really more personal on getting to know me authentically as you can, through social media.
So let me ask you this, because you have your own company and you do your freight brokering through it. Are you working for someone else also?
I do.
Okay.
So I work for a company which is a 3PL, third party logistics. And that's another easier way when you're fresh in the industry is to tie your company to another entity that's already bigger than you.
Okay.
So like how it works is like Saks Fifth. You got Saks, Prada, Gucci, and all these other entities, but it's under Saks Fifth. So that's how the company is that I work for. I'm under their umbrella using my brokerage
Okay.
to get a
And
more attraction.
and we don't need to mention who the company is or anything like that, but how did you get the job? Because I saw you had posted that you got the job and then something happened where tell us what happened.
So I was promoted at the job of director of operations, and how I got the job is networking. I met a guy, and I was trying to sign on to his company, and after talking with him, I realized he wasn't a good fit for me. He realized I wasn't a good fit for him, but he recommended somebody else for me,
Mm.
and that recommendation opened the door for me to get inside that job. And then once I got the job, a few weeks later, I get an email asking me if I have my MBA in logistics. I'm like, no, I don't. You know what I mean? And they was like, well, unfortunately, we can't have director in front of your name without you actually having those type of degrees. But you can still be operations manager, but you can't be director. So still have my office, still have my same position. I just don't have that title.
Right.
So I decided to go back to school for logistics.
Are you enrolled
Yeah.
now?
I am at Avitech.
Good
I
deal.
started in January.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I loved hearing that. I was like, okay, she's director. And then you came back and circled around with the whole they wanted my MBA and and when you said that they took director away from you, I knew they had just taken that title away from you, but not necessarily the job.
Correct.
It then allowed you the opportunity to go get that paper to make it official. So I'm rooting for you, girl. I am. You gonna have it.
Thank you. Thank you. And, just using your opportunities that can help me. I have learned so much from this company that I was not aware of to build my own. Being with a company that's already established, been established since 2008. I have learned like, oh, wow. Yeah, I thought I knew this and I did not. So, being really resourceful, networking, like I said, it came from me networking, meeting someone, and that someone recommended me to where I'm at now.
Awesome. Awesome. So, anyway, let's see here. I want to take a look at time. Are you good on time?
I am.
Okay, great. So, basically, what I've heard tonight is use your resources. YouTube is great. Use it, but also know that you got to go beyond just YouTube and finding other people that are willing to assist you. Resources and networking with people. And the funny thing is, or the thing is, these aren't new strategies at all. We all know to do these things. And I think sometimes we get to the point where we see where it looks quick, I guess, or fast, or and people think that you've got to bypass these steps to get to where you're going, but no, even you saying that you're working within a company learning a lot of things, you still have your own company, you still have your, but you're working inside of another company, and you're just building upon your wheelhouse of information of things now that you can do. And sometimes, and I'm taking it in because we're talking to me too. Sometimes we have to take that step to say, you know what, I don't know it all. I don't, and I could
Exactly.
learn from so that I can get to another point, because at this point, you know more than me. You know more than someone else who's probably trying to come up, and at some point you may be their entry point, source, resource to being wherever they want to be for whatever it is. And it's not just logistics, just life in general. And that's
Right. And
exciting.
I've been doing the logistics thing since 2018. So to everybody, they're seeing the fruit of my labor now. They don't see the labor part.
Right.
The late nights, the studying, the money out of pocket, no revenue coming in. I mean, constantly advisor. I mean, and if you want really good advisor and you really want good financial plans, you have to pay. I mean, $500-$600 for classes, $200 for ebooks. I mean, literally putting in the work and the leg work that comes with it. And like I said, most people just look at it like, oh, she just came out of nowhere with a trucking company. No, I've been doing this since 2018. I've been got 6 years in now. So it takes about 10 to build an empire. It takes about 10 years to build a solid business. So I'm looking to enjoy the fruit of my labor very, very soon. Very soon.
Because I was going to ask, what do you see next for yourself?
So next for me, honestly, my husband is from Africa, South Africa. So for me, it's going international and maybe getting family and friends on that side
Hmm.
to work for us internationally on that side as, dispatchers or whatever it can be, with logistics being international. So that's my goal, is to go back that way and try to set up financial freedom for family members over there, because their opportunities are way less than the opportunities that we're blessed with here in America.
Right. So have you been over there in the past?
No, I am planning now to go December of 2024.
2024. Okay. 2024, next year.
Yep. So I'm getting that plan now, passport, all the good stuff, and preparing my mind for an 18-hour flight.
Hmm. So will this be your first time out of country?
Yes, it will.
Oh, okay. Well, good deal. So now this is, you told us you went to Florida. So you told me you went to Florida. Where else have you traveled?
We went to Tennessee last year to Gaylord's property. Really, really nice hotel.
Hmm.
Opera Mills. I'm from Illinois, so I travel back that way frequently. Um, my husband a trucker, so whoa, PA, Virginia, Texas. I mean, we done been a little bit of everywhere being a trucker's wife.
So he has his own truck, your husband?
Yes, we do. So
Okay.
that'll be our first piece of equipment that we started with.
Okay. And you've been on the road with him. So have you been on the road with him after the children, after you've had kids, or?
I did. So we have all rode as a family. Honestly, not my lifestyle in the truck.
Hmm.
I Not my preference at all. Absolutely, I don't like it. So that's why I said I wanted to build something where I did not have to be inside of a truck.
Gotcha.
Time away from your family. So really trying to build something where I can get my husband off the road. That's the ultimate goal.
Okay, so that's next. Him coming off.
Yeah, so that's my next goal.
Okay. Because I didn't realize that those trucks are set up as living quarters also. I didn't.
Yep, you got beds in there. You have different kind of campers. You have campers that you lay in. None that you lay in. You got some that got kitchens in them, bathrooms. Uh, Different semis are they have different kind of cabs, depending on what you do on the road. So if you're the type of person, no apartment, you live literally on the road, then the best thing to do is get a camper with the kitchen, bathroom, things like
Oh,
that. Like my husband, you come home every night or every other night, just a regular little bed, something you can lay in. Normally stop at a truck stop or something like that where they can, take showers and get a meal and things like that.
mhm. So, I guess for someone who's like interested in that lifestyle, because truckers, are they still needed right now?
They are.
Okay.
They are. Market is kind of crazy right now. Rates, um, dispatchers and brokers keeping most of the money. So that's what made me stand out different from everybody else. My price, I'm a trucker wife, so I understand, getting beat by your broker and cheap loads. So I try to make sure my drivers get that first worm. Like that's why I'm really big on early bird.
Mm-hmm.
First worm. I make sure that goes to my drivers. I'm not trying to pocket all the money. They have families to feed. They're already missing out on a lot of time. So my strategy was kind of different in my percentage than what most brokers offer.
Okay. So that's good to know. So if there's anyone out there who's interested in the trucking life, there are different options for you. You can practically live on the road, is what I'm hearing, um, and
Yep.
and do your business. And the money's pretty good. I would take it as long as you've got your loads coming in and the work's there.
Yes. Yes. I mean, the average you can make anywhere from 5 1,000 to $5,000 in a week. I mean, it really depends. You can make $10,000 in a week, depending on how long you're running, where you're running to. Minus overhead, gas, and things like that. It's really good money in logistics. It's a $2.3 billion industry a year.
A year, and that's a lot. So there there's
That's a lot.
there's room in there. So that's good to hear. Um, for those who may be thinking what it is that they're going to do. I know I at one point I thought maybe I could drive, but I hate driving now. I hate being on the road as a passenger.
You say, "Oh my God, I can't do it." I tell my husband, "Mwah, mwah, mwah," every day. I can't. I can't.
Mm-mm. But there's something that I do want to ask you about because when you mentioned Africa and that you were going there, you also hold your real estate license. Are you still doing anything with that?
I am. I am still in real estate. I went a referral to really focus on early bird. I would be coming out of referral next year in January 2024. Um, Really wild plan, really great marketing skills. I had a whole year to sit back to see how I was going to come back.
Okay, are you there? You froze up for me. I think we got Tequila froze. So we'll see if she'll come back. Yeah, we'll see if she'll come back. And if so, then we can continue the conversation with her because I do believe that we were wrapping up. But I hope that you get the idea of really what all this is about and the people who are in our communities doing things that we can just learn from and benefit from. So I'm going to go ahead and end this one here because we've gone a little over, not too long. But I'm excited that she was able to join. I'm looking forward to more conversations that I'll have with Tequila in the future, and perhaps we'll have some here again as well. But I want to thank you all for your time and being here with me, and I will see you next week, Friday at 6:30 p.m. because I have another wonderful guest that will be joining, and you will have that information in this coming week. So have a great weekend.